the home button, we look at the font style. I'm just doing a recap or a revision before we continue the other thing we do for today. So under the home tab, we look at the font style, we look at font size, we also look at how to bolding a text, how to underline a text, how to change a text, uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, and other, how to give a text background color, and then how to change text. We also had a look at something at paragraphs. So at paragraphs, we look at how to center a text, how to align a text. You also want to give line spacing to text. All these things when you are typing or when you are preparing. For instance, somebody can like the assignment we did, you were asked to give a line spacing, give a paragraph, do bulletin. We have not done this, so I'll give you another assignment that will cover this part. So far, the assignment we have done only covers this place, the font style, the size, and then the color of the text. We have not come to this place yet. So going forward, you'll be given an assignment that will also cover how to select, let's say, bulletin and other things, like how you'll be able to give your text bullet options available. And you can decide to use this, you can decide to choose any of these ones available. Going forward, maybe that will cover this particular part here. And then this place, we have already done something about it. So if I give work I am expecting it's not going to be easy, but we'll be able to know which one will hold in the text, which one will make the text look like italics, which one will underline the text, and then which of the lines are available for you to use. So this part, I am well convinced that now the next aspect we look at when you come to the home tab is at this point the styles. So as you see, we have font here, we have paragraph here, and we have styles here. So we have looked at font, we have looked at paragraph. Now we are looking at styles. Styles are nothing but something that you just apply to your text, that at the end of the day your text will have some unique looking, or like you are styling the text. Let me put it that we are styling the text. So let me say I'll type something like Ghana. It's raw. It's raw. So when you come to this particular here, you can see stars. So the stars here is trying to tell us that we can apply a lot of stars to this particular text Ghana here. So what I will do is, anytime you want to have a section, highlight it. So now first thing is I'll highlight this particular text. After highlighting, when I come to the style column here, we have a lot of styles here. We have a lot of styles here. As I am moving the mouse, you can even see that it's trying to adapt to a particular style that I am using. That's it. You also have the option to click here, and a lot of more styles are available here. As you can see, there are a lot of styles. So I can decide to choose any of them as my heading style, or like depending on who and what the document you are preparing required. Sometimes the document you are preparing requires that you use a certain heading. So as you can see, any one of them that I pick has an effect on what I have typed. But if I don't click on anything by default, it is always this one, the normal. Yes, by default it is always on the normal. So if you don't want always to be using the normal, that is where you now highlight your work and then click on the styles and decide which style you want. Microsoft 207 is limited. If you go to other higher versions, they're having a lot of styles in there. But for a start and then for learning stage, these styles are enough for us. So when we upgrade and we get to a level where we are okay, then we can install version on our machine. At that point, you see a lot of styles. But the goal here is that when you are typing a document, the first thing you have to look out for is you have your font here, you have your paragraphs here, you have your styles here. Every document that you see out there that has been printed, that has been converted to anything that you can think of, first of all is having a font. When it comes to fonts, it's having style, it's having size, it's having case sensitive and all those things. It's also having paragraph, because you cannot type everything or you cannot put every document together without spacing them paragraph and no. So every document that is having paragraphs in it, that is, you have the center, you have the underline, you have the line spacing. Then also we have the styles here that they apply to the text. So like the other time we were doing the history of Ghana, we saw that the heading, the emperor or something like that, we saw heading, we saw spacing, we saw paragraph. So every document that we're working on has a font, has paragraphs, has styles. And the font is not just one thing. A lot of things come together to form what we call the font. That is the style, the size, the uppercase, the lowercase, the color, the underline, all those fonts. Then when you come to the paragraph, you have the bulletin, the center, the names, the line spacing, and all those things. To also make sure that the document is well structured. Then we have the style that you apply to that particular document you are preparing. So this is how you prepare a document when you are on the home tab. When you are on the home tab. Now, if you understand up to this point, then we are now going to look at the next tab or ribbon, which is the insert ribbon. So I will pause here to ask for you to ask questions concerning the home tab or the home ribbon before we move on to the insert. Because if we move on to the insert, then we are assuming that the home tab is well created and we understand that the next thing will be constant practice. Yes, when it comes to Microsoft Word, everything that you want to do, to copy, to paste, to cut, or to affect changes like color or underline or whatever, you must first of all highlight that particular portion. It could be a single word, or it could be a single, let's say, paragraph or something. You must first of all highlight it. You cannot do any editing, or let's say you cannot add any style, size, color, background, effect on the document without highlighting it. So let's use that one, because you can never affect a change without highlighting that particular section that you want to apply the changes to. So you have to always, as it is important to know how to save the file. The same thing, it is important to know that before you edit lot of things, plenty things that we can use to affect pages on the Microsoft Word when we are typing. The same thing too when we come to the insects. We have a lot of things under the insect tab or ribbon that we can use to also prepare our documents whenever we are typing. Microsoft Word has a lot of features in it that makes it one of the top-notch software or application that most computers. So now we are going to look at the insect and what is under the insect. So as you can see, we have here cover page, we have here blank page, we have here page break, and all these page things forms what we call pages. So under the cover page, blank page, break page, we have it here as what pages. The same thing when we were here, all these things formed fonts. This one is also forming pages. So we have tables, we have illustrations, we have links, we have header and footer here, we have text. So as I was saying, before you be able to apply anything to the text, first of all highlight. I want to now bring this to heading to the center. I'll first of all highlight, come to the home, and then click the center to bring it to the center. So I want to underline it. I should still highlight it and then click on the underline and then choose the line type I want. If I want to bolden it, I have to still highlight it and click on the bold. Remember, if you are moving from tab to tab, you must know what is under each tab. So I was at the insect tab, but I realized I want to underline this text. It means I have to go back to the home tab, or I will see the underline. If I am at the insect tab and I want to, let's say, remove the underline that I gave to this text, I have to go back to the home before I can remove the line that I gave to this text. So I can decide to remove it from this particular title that I have underlined, or so if I click, I'll remove it. So the point I am making here is that at any point in time, depending on the tab you are on, you must know that anything you want to do, you must have in mind anything you want to do and where you are supposed to go for that thing. So if you are under the page orientation and you are looking for something that under normal circumstance is under the home and you come to insect, you won't find it. You should know at any point in time how you be moving from tab to tab and be looking for things to help you when you are preparing a document or when you are typing a document. So still on the insect, we click on the insect. We have looked at pages, but we have not practicalized it, or we have not done the practice. But we will go on to explain the rest, and then we will take our time and be doing the practice one by one. So we see we have cover page, we have blank page, and we have page break. All of these things forms pages. We also have tables here on its own as a column or as a block on its own. We also have illustrations as a block, and under the illustrations we have picture, we have clip art, we have shapes, we have small art, and we have text. All these things are under illustrations. Then we have links. Most of these things I am telling you, hardly will you even use some of them, but you are supposed to know so that you know where to go. So we have links like hyperlinks, cross reference, and other. Then we have another blog which is on its own called header and footer. Header and footer simply means footer, and this is the header. So when you are typing a document, you can give your document a page header and page footer. You can also give the page numbers. So we have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. This is where you do all those things from. We have header and then footer. Then we also have what we call text. It's a blog, and inside the blog we have text box, quick parts, word art, drop cap, signature line, date and time, object. And all these things, when you click on them, they have something small. And last, I told you that anytime you see small arrows, don't undermine them, because they have a lot of things under them. They have a lot of things under them. So when I click on cover page, you can see a lot of things will pop up under cover page. When we click on symbol, we have a lot of things that will pop up under symbol. So whenever you see a small arrow, don't undermine them. So for instance, if you are typing a document and you need symbols like this is euro or pound, this is pound, this is euro, this is pound, and this is this is euro sign, this is pound sign, and then it follows in that order. It follows in that order. So when I click on this symbol, this is what I got. But initially this is standing on its own, but when you click, it gives you all this. That is not all. When you click on more symbols, you get more symbols will come. So as you can see, depending on what you are doing and the symbol that you want, sometimes you'll be working with money document and you need some symbols to add to what you are typing. So you see where you go for your symbol. So this is it. Now this is equations, and this part hardly will you use it. Myself, hardly do I use it. It's normally where they will come in stuff. So this place is not anything that you have to worry about. All these things is mathematics. So you forget this part. But the symbols aspect, you may be having a document that may be having money symbols and other things, copyright symbols. You see, when you use this symbol, where is it? Type copy, right, and you want to insert this and just it to be here, and you just put your name. But without symbols options here, you won't be able to type this thing here, the C inside the bracket. Okay, so now let's go back to, we are moving through the things one by one. So this is symbols, box or block. Now we will come to text. So inside the text, we have text box, we have quick art, we have word art, and we have date and other things. So what we are going to do is, now if you click on this small arrow here, as I told you, you have a lot of things that pops up. Sometimes you may not need what they have suggested for you. You want to do your own thing, so you have the option to draw your own text box. You have the option to also use what has been suggested for you, but you can just click on draw text box and then you just draw your box. Just draw your box and start typing inside. And remember, when you just click on the, let me go back and explain this to you. When you click on the drop box, it brought a lot of things. Let's say this, I want to draw box. When I just draw the I can decide to give it a background color that will fill the box like this, like this, like this. So you have an option alone for that Dropbox thing that you did. I don't know if you are getting it. You have the option to fill it. You have the option to do the outline. The outline is just the border. So as you can see, the border line is done. So when you finish, then you can go back to that your insect code again. I've been disconnected, but saying if you click the insect box alone, it has a lot of things when it comes to the insect. But then normally the insect, under the insect, what you'll be needing most is tables, pictures, and maybe shapes, then symbols. But I just want to explain everything here so that at least you have an idea of everything, but not necessarily understanding everything at a go. So let's make it that way. So if we are starting from this place, let's assume that we are preparing a book, and then the title of the book say Introduction to Insect. We have to give the book a cover page. What we will do is we click on the cover page, and it's having options that has been suggested for us already, of which we can use them and then start our book. So we can just click on this, and this is how it will look like. So this is the cover page. Pick the dates. So maybe we can decide to give the date of the material. Then we give the title, type the company name. Let's say you can decide to give the, come again. So you can say the company name is Tears of Joy, and then the title of the document, type of document is, let's say, factory, like this. This is our book we are preparing. Now this image here, you can decide to change it because it's a block factory. You may not need, what's the name, a car or something like that. That does not match what you are doing. So what we can simply do is that we can change this image. So that is what we are going to do next. I was saying under insert that you'll be able to change, this in insert you'll be able to insert a picture. So this time around I'll click on this picture here and delete it. When I delete it, I'm going to insert my own. So I'll use this opportunity. So wait. So when you click on this picture here, you see picture, it will say insert picture from file. I'll click on it, and when I click on it, it will ask me where that particular picture is. I saved it on desktop, so I'll click on desktop. When I click on desktop, I will be looking for the picture, the name of the picture, and as you can see, this is the name of the picture, brick palette. I'll just click on insert. So when I click on insert, it will come into nicely like this. Now the picture has come, but where it is, I don't like it because it's occupying plenty space. So I have to be able to move the picture to and fro. Like I should be able to move the picture anyhow, anywhere, because the first one was around this place. So what we are going to do right now is that we are going to click on the picture first, then we click on format, and as you can see, position. So when it comes to position, we are looking for an option that will say, so when you put it on to right for position in top, this one will say position in top center. When you put on this, it will say in. So as you can see, anytime you put on, it tries to do what that particular if I click on true, I'll be able to move the picture to anywhere I want. But if I bring it down here, it's covering the writings that we did. So you are going to send the picture behind. So you can come and say in front of text, what's the name? Send back behind text. It didn't go. Okay, so this, so that it will not cover the text. So now, as you can see, this block factory is white, but it's almost the same as the picture background. So we can decide to give it a new color so that it will not be looking like the background picture. Now you do it like this, and it's nicely designed. So what's next? Then you can say type the document subtitle. Let's say my side business. So at this point, you have designed points. What you have just done is that you have done only cover page. So if you realize, we started from here, cover page, and we clicked on it, and then we picked one of them. So we decide to go in for this. And that is what has given us this. So if it is a book we are preparing, this is our cover page. Now we go to the next page, which is page 2. Then the next things follow in that order. So we have only done cover page. Now we are going to tables. So assuming this is our document we are preparing, and then we have done the cover page, we are going to, let's say, page 2, and inside the page 2 we have the history of Ghana and this. So we want to leave capital, but we want it in a full table. So what we are going to simply do is that we will just click on this table icon here, and then you see a lot of tables. So we ask the table that you want to create. How many columns do you need, and how many rows do you need? So first of all, we say we need a table that will contain the name of every region and then the capital of that region. Okay, so we need only 2 columns. Then maybe how many rows? Maybe 10 or something like in this order. So at this point, you have prepared your table. So you can say capitals in Ghana, and then region. So this is how you prepare your table. So now you can decide to type the informations inside, like this example, Greater Accra. Then maybe say Western region. Let's say Saturday. So you have prepared the table, and you are putting in the information according to how you want it. So basically, when you want to work with tables, or if you are doing things that demand that you use you draw a table, you come to the insects, and under the insects you click on the table icon here, and then brainstorm how many table heads you need. Then you count to the left or to the right, depending on what you are doing. And then you bring it down, and then you just click on OK. This is the table. That's how to insert table inside your you just click on click act. It will give you the option to go to the next tab, which is the shape. So the shape is basically insects. We saw that tables comes with table options, picture comes with picture, and then shapes. So shapes will give you the opportunity to draw any shape you want, like arrow, like a rectangle, a circle or oval, anything that you want when it comes to shapes. They are all under insect. And so when you come to insect, you go to shapes, and then you can see all these options. So we have most recently used shapes, and these shapes are the ones that are mostly used. But you are not limited. You have lines, you have basic shapes, you have block arrows, you have flow charts, you have call out. There are a lot depending on what you are doing. So if you want to draw or you want to have a shape on your work, you just click on that shape and then use your mouse, click on it, and then drag it anyhow you want. Depending on the size you want, you can just be dragging it and then leave the mouse to have your shape drawn. So basically that is how you draw shapes. And anytime you finish drawing a shape, it comes with its own things. That is what is here under format. So format means you are going to say edit it or apply changes to it. So you can just decide to give it background, and then let's say you can decide to give it outline. You can decide to make sure that the color fills it. All these things applies to that particular shape that you are working with. You get it? So the most important thing is, first you come to shape insect, go to shapes, click on the shape that you are looking for, and then use your mouse and drag anywhere you want, and then draw the shape. After drawing the shape, you can decide to give it colors and other things. You can decide to also give it an outline color. So the outline color will differentiate the color of the shape, and then the color of the object itself. Basically that is how you draw shapes. So everything under shapes, everything you want to do when it comes to shapes is under this particular button here. You do up to let's say the chart here, then you leave it for today, and then I'll give you time to practice whilst I watch. Then maybe in the next meeting we look at this place. These places are not really important, but you just explain quickly and move on. So if you come to the shapes here, if you want to draw a triangle, you just click on the triangle. Use your mouse, hold down, you do this, give it a color if you want, give it an outline if you want, and then you are good to go. All these things are effects, like 3D effect, animation, those things. Not really necessary for somebody who wants to prepare a document, for typing and other things. But it's good you understand them, because you may not know where you get to when you have to add shape and other things to your work. So if you want to add it, come to insect, go to shapes, and then you see the different shapes available, and then you choose from. So you can choose any of them. If you want to choose, you click on it, you use the mouse to draw, and then that is that for you. So now we'll go to, so what I was saying next is we look at the smart art. And the smart art, when you click on it, we have some funny things, and these ones you will not need them to do anything. You will not need them to do anything, so I will use time here. The next important thing maybe you need a chat. When you click on chat, it gives you the option to select which type of chat you want to use. And chat is basically graphs. So we have a bar graph, line graph, pie graph, all those kind of scatter graphs and stuff. So you can decide to other Excel, of which we will take our time and learn that one into detail. So this information you are seeing here is coming from the Excel. It's coming from the Excel. So for instance, if I change this figure here, let's say 48, and I click, you can see that it took effect on the graph. I don't know if you realize it. If I change this one 7%, it will take effect on the graph. So you are preparing a document. Let's say you want to, first of all, let's say here is fee, and then let's say here is mail. You are just preparing it to gender. Let's say something called gender. So you want to so if you put here, let's say gender, they are 45, and then here 50. This will be the result. So at the end of the day, this thing that is here does not, depend on itself alone. It's having a link with Excel. It's having a link with Excel. So when you are working with charts, you must have a source, data somewhere that you'll be linking it with. So the idea here is that in Microsoft Word, you can have charts also in your work or your project or whatever document you are preparing. That is the idea here that I'm trying to communicate. But at the end of the day, the data must have a source, which is from Excel or something like that. So before you be able to see all this nice graph or picture, you must have a source that the document is referring to. Okay, so now if you come to charts, you have the option to go by bar. All these things are available when you come to drawing of charts. But you must also make sure that the data that you are feeding this particular chart is coming from Excel. We have not gone there. We take our time and learn Excel. Also, Excel is also having almost everything as Microsoft Word. So you have home tab, you have text tab, you have page layout, you have this, you have that. I'll open for you to see what I mean. So if you understand the concept of Microsoft Word, if you understand the concept of Microsoft Word in terms of the home, the insert, the page layout, the reference, then automatically you are when we come to Microsoft Excel. Then the next thing will be like when we are doing calculations. I do a lot that you just put in the figures or the numbers, and then everything will be calculated for you. So to Excel. So as you can see, Microsoft Word is having home, Excel is having home, Microsoft Word is having office button, Excel is having office button here where you save your file. It's having insert, page layout, reference. Here is not having reference, but here is formulas. We have mailings, we have review here, view, then data. So almost everything here is also here. But if you really get the concept of Microsoft, well, when we get to this place, you will not really suffer, because when you come to the home of this Microsoft Word, see all this font style, the size, this one, they are all here. They are all here. The copy, the paste, they are all under this tab here. When you come to this place, the colors, all this in the arrangement, they are all here. So when we get to this place, we really understand Microsoft Word. So far, we just be concentrating on the calculation. Because when you come to insect, all these things that we were talking about, the tables, the picture, art, shapes, since it all belongs to the same Microsoft product, if you are able to understand one very well, when you get to the other one, you don't really necessarily suffer because you have the concept from the previous word. So when you go to Excel or PowerPoint, you have the understanding small from that one. So we end our talking session on the chat, and then we'll just go over what we have done by summarizing it, and I'll give you the options. So far we have done the home, everything under home. Today we look at the styles here. We look at this. Then we move straight to the insects. Then we did cover page. We did tables. We did picture. We did shapes. Then we did this. We had a look at symbols and then equations. Equations, we don't normally use them. We will not be using equations. So symbols, something we'll be using. Text box from time to time, and then chart and stuff from time to time. So basically, when it comes to Microsoft Word, we have done two tabs or ribbons. We have done home and then insects. We will look at page layout, reference mailings this in our subsequent videos or meetings. But for now, this is where we leave our talking session, and I'll give you the opportunity to practice one or two things that we have done today, so that we see how today's class or meetings have helped or not. So this is where to get tables, this is where to insert picture, this is where to get shapes. If you want to get symbols, if you want to get text box, this is where to get those things from. So